We've got some expert trike specialists here to tell you what you should do for your trike daily when you're riding.
What are the important things that you need to check on your trike? ABC check is something that most cyclists use before they go for a ride. What ABC stands for is air, brakes, and chain. Those are the three things that should be checked before each ride. Well, the same idea applies for a trike. You should check the air in the tires by using the finger test. So when you use the finger test, you want to make sure that the tire feels nice and firm between your fingers. It's a good idea to do this before you ride, because then that way you can check to make sure that one of the tires isn't flat, or if it feels pretty low, then you can assume that it's possible that there is a slow leak, and you can get that taken care of before you ride to make sure that you're not riding into a situation where you might have a flat. When you're doing your weekly trike checkup, it is important to not rely on the finger test. It is important to use a tire pressure gauge. The B in the ABC check stands for brakes. So before each ride, what you want to do, just press the brakes over and over and make sure that they're engaging properly. If they're not engaging properly, something might be wrong. If you notice that one of your brakes feels a little bit funky, one thing that it could be, it doesn't happen very often, but it's a good idea to check the entire brake system to see if there's something that looks amiss. So when the cable tension is really loose, so it is possible for this to happen. This is when the housing comes unseated from the brake lever. If your cable tension is too slack, this could happen. And the way to solve this is you just pull on the housing and make sure it's seated back into the brake lever, just like that. So pro tip, one way to check to see if your brakes are tight enough is to use the rule of thumb trick. So what you do is you put your thumb between the handlebar and the brake lever and just make sure that your thumb can fit through that space. Now, if your thumb can't fit through that space, then that means that your brakes are too loose and you should probably see your local mechanic to get that fixed. So the C in ABC check stands for chain. So for this part, I'm gonna need a buddy or a special stand to prop up the trike. FYI, if you're looking to purchase this, they actually don't make them anymore. However, Minora makes one that folds, or you can make one yourself. I know a lot of you guys out there like to tinker around and build stuff, so this might be a good project to add to your list. So the way this works is you take the trike stand, you put it on the ground on the non-drive side, then you pick up the trike and you just let the trike sit on one of those hooks. And what that does is that lifts the wheel off the ground and allows you to do all sorts of maintenance, such as checking the gears and cleaning your trike. So we want to make sure that the chain is working properly. So this is where the buddy comes in. The buddy comes and holds the back of the trike so that you can test all the gears and just make sure that everything looks good. Make sure that the chain is running smoothly. I don't see anything that is affecting the chain. So I think we can say that we are ready to go for a ride.
Now, I will say one case where this is really important to do is if you have a folding trike and you folded it up to transport it to the start of your ride. Really important to do this because in loading and unloading your trike, you might knock the shift lever out of position, and when you start to pedal, if you start pedaling hard right away, it might jam the chain and cause damage. So it's really important to do just the basic spin the cranks and make sure the chain settles into where it's supposed to be.
Good tip.
Last thing, don't forget your safety flag.
There you go.
Sit down on the trike, and you're ready to roll.
Woo! Oh, that was fun. Awesome. And then you got to...
Don't forget your helmet.
Hope to see you riding.